those who don't know, my name is Amber. And for those who do know and have been to my channel, welcome back. So as you can see, I am in a different setting. I'm actually at the hospital, been here since Tuesday. But let me take it back a little. For those who've watched my channel know that I had decided to become a surrogate. So I was actually, what brings me into my next movement as to why I'm in the hospital. I will say this, I am no longer pregnant. This has been one crazy, wild week. I know I look like a hot mess, which is fine because everything was unexpected. This video isn't about how I look. So, basically, yeah, I was 7 months. I was pregnant, 28 weeks. And what happened basically was, it's actually a really crazy experience. Shocking, unexpected, that I ended up going through. And was kind of weird. It was shocking to everyone. So basically, I went to, okay, so let me start over. So the past few, I'll say week or so, I was feeling pressure in my stomach. I thought that it was just regular pressure from the babies, stretching out. And so, I thought it was normal. So fast forward, I went to my regular checkup appointment on Tuesday morning. Went for my OB checkup, or a regular checkup, sorry. And they did an ultrasound. Ended up, the pressure ended up coming back right in the middle of my stomach. The tech told me that pretty much it wasn't pressure, it was a contraction. So pretty much basically, I guess I was in labor that past week leading up to that Tuesday and didn't even know it. So what happened was, they did the ultrasound. After the ultrasound, went to go talk to the doctor. He moved me to another room to check my cervix and make sure that my cervix was fine, that I wasn't dilated. So they checked my cervix, and that's when things really got crazy from there. In my mind, I was already worried. Like, I just prayed it was like Braxton Hicks, because like I said, the pressure would come and go. So they checked my cervix, and the nurses kept looking at each other. And so at that point I said, okay, something isn't right. But what I didn't expect was to get the news that I received. So after my cervix was checked, I found out I was 7 centimeters out. And that there just like, it was like a what the hell moment. Like, honestly, I just came in for an ultrasound checkup. Next thing you know, I find out I'm 7 centimeters dilated. And I was shocked. I was overwhelmed. I was crying. I didn't know what to do because this was completely unexpected. Wasn't even prepared. I was already ready to go to work. That didn't even happen. So next thing you know, I'm getting wheeled to the hospital. They got me, fixed up and everything, IV and everything. Next thing you know, I went into OR. I ended up having a C-section, which was my first C-section. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. Sorry, I look exhausted. It's been a long few days. Like I said, I guess for me, I was just still in shock. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this. None of us were expecting it. At that time, I just immediately notified the people who I was supposed to notify about what's going on. We were all shocked. So yeah, I ended up having a C-section. Luckily, people who I did surrogate for, They were able to see the babies come into the world. I was emotional. I guess I fully didn't really comprehend the whole situation. Like I said, everything happened so fast. I go in for an ultrasound. Next thing you know, I'm told I'm 7 centimeters dilated. Next thing you know, I'm going in for a C-section, bringing the babies into the world. And that's when they told me, they're coming today. So I'm like, they're coming today. Like, it's for real. They're coming today. So, they came into the world. Thank God they're healthy, they're safe, they're fine. Of course, I'm not going to post any pictures only because out of respect. So I'm just here telling you my experience. So I think, honestly, I was probably shocked for like that day and then the day after, because I just couldn't believe what just happened, like what transpired. The C-section wasn't that long. Like I said, everything went really well. Had a lot of support. So, like I said, I've been here since Tuesday. I will say C-sections are not fun. But like I said, I've had a lot of support. There's been a lot of support. Everything went well. I'm fine. I'm healthy. Babies are fine, are healthy and healthy. So those are the important things. So yeah, it's been a very long week. Like I said, this was a complete and utter surprise, unexpected. Nobody was prepared. I wasn't prepared. But I'm a firm believer that, God has a plan for all of us. So, hey, this is what was meant to happen. And keep in mind, I was only 7 months, 28 weeks. So, of course, that was, cause for concern in my mind. But everything worked out. Everything is fine. I'm fine. I'll say the following day was, of course, rough. Having to walk around. Been mostly like sleeping and stuff. So this is definitely one for the books for 2020, I will say. I guess I just played in my mind over and over, like, how is it that I came for a regular ultrasound and then end up being told I'm 7 centimeters dilated and then end up going to get a C-section. And I think the thing that blows my mind the most is the fact that I was walking around these past days, or starting from last week leading up to that Tuesday, not knowing that I was having contractions, that they were contractions. The pressure I was feeling was contractions the whole entire time. And then I don't know, it was like, I'm not gonna lie, I started crying. I was just like, oh my gosh, they're actually coming today. Like, this is actually real. It's not a joke. I'm not dreaming. They're actually coming. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. These past days, I actually get to go home tomorrow. So, oh boy, I will say this is one moment in my life that I will never forget. Sorry, I'm still in a little uncomfortable pain. But, yeah. So, that's just how it is. Like I said, no longer pregnant. They're here in good health, thank God. Which is really a good thing. So, yeah, I guess I'm at the point now where it's just, mine is like blown. Like, this, like, it's really happened. This is not a dream. Like, this actually all happened in a week. Like, in one, like, all of this really happened. It's not, I'm not asleep. So, but like I said, literally everything happens so fast. But like I said, I believe everything happens for a reason. And, like I said, the important thing is that everyone is healthy and safe and okay. For me, I've always been scared of C-sections, you know, considering this was my first one. I didn't really know what to expect, but, you know, everything turned out fine. You know, I was being monitored. Everything is okay. I'm able to walk around a little bit better these past few days. Of course, except for that Wednesday, of course, because it was the day after I had the C-section. So, like I said, I get to go home tomorrow. Again, I would post pictures if it was they're my babies, but they're not. So out of respect, I'm not posting any pictures. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys my experience, that I'm no longer pregnant. That just goes to show you that anything can happen. Clearly, experiencing this was a first time situation. So, but I will say, you know, I've had a lot of support behind me, and I feel like I handled it pretty well. It was out of my control. There's nothing I can do. You know, being 7 centimeters dilated out, all we could just do was move forward from there. So, yeah. But I will say it was a wild ride that I will for sure never forget. So, even though I wish they'd stayed in a little longer, you know, that just wasn't their plan. They were ready to come out clearly. So, yeah, but I'm exhausted. I'm tired. You know, my journey as a surrogate it's been a long journey. But at the end of the day, it was all worth it. You know, so I don't regret anything. You know, so now, will I be a surrogate again? I'm not sure. I know, you know, of course I have to let my body heal within the healing time frame, but I think this will be like my first and last journey. If I decide to do another one in the near future, I might do it, but it's a lot. And, you know, for anybody out there or any woman out there deciding to become a surrogate, whether they're in the process or doing research, just make sure it's something that you want to do, because this does take a toll on you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. Make sure you have the right support, not just from family and friends, but also your job. You know, I've heard different stories of people getting fired because, you know, you got to take days off. You know, you got to drive out places to do ultrasounds. Like for me, that's what happened with me during my journey. You know, when I was early in the process, I had to go, you know, drive out to get ultrasounds done. Of course, I had to fly out to Idaho, which there is a video out there, to do the embryo transfer. So there's a lot behind it. So just make sure you have that support. And I was blessed enough and fortunate enough to have that, you know, and, you know, work at a job that stood behind me the whole time and was completely understanding. So just make sure you have support in every way. And make sure if you decide to become surrogate or you do surrogacy, come in it with an open mind and honest heart, meaning don't come in it expecting this money. You know, and I know a lot of people have asked me about that, and that's something I don't really like to talk about, because that's not why I decided to become a surrogate, you know. So, you know, I mean, the money's cool and all, but what's more important is you're helping somebody have a family, you know, that is either unable to have a family or whatever situation. And there's all different types of situations. There's all different types of couples. Whatever the reason being, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Because I will say this, you know, to me personally, there's not enough money in this world, you know, I lost my train of thought, but I'll figure it out. Sorry, my mind has been just everywhere these past few days, but basically, you know, I know a lot of people, I won't say a lot, but some people see surrogacy as like a money bank, and you just have to really, that's the problem. And, you know, that's how people get themselves in trouble. You need to understand that it's not a quick process, and I've said this in my previous videos. It's really not a quick process. There's a lot you have to go through, and there's no cutting corners. You have, as you saw in my videos, other videos, during my journey, I did a lot of different things, you know. You have your psych evaluation, your medical evaluation, there's the matching process. So you got to understand it's not a quick process, which is a good thing, because they want to make sure that, you know, they have somebody who's responsible and is doing it for the right reasons, you know. And I've been emotional too, because it's different when you're pregnant and you're talking about it for so long, but then when reality hits and the baby or babies are finally here, it's a whole different story. You know, so I guess I'm not going to go into complete detail about everything else, because that is nothing to do with everybody out there. So, you know, still out of respect. But like I said, you know, I had a really amazing journey. It was rough, you know, being pregnant, going through this journey right at the beginning of a COVID pandemic, trying to make sure I'm safe, the baby's safe, my child's safe. It's been rough and stressful, but at the end of the day, like I said, I don't regret it. Sorry. So, you know, like I said, just know that being a surrogate is not a bad thing. I've had a lot of positive feedback and a lot of positive support, which means the world to me, you know. I had a great journey. It just so happens it was cut a little bit short, but, you know, I'm glad that I made at least as far as I did. So, you know, I'm grateful for that. Again, like I said, as far as being a surrogate, I think I'm going to take a time out from that, and, of course, allow my body to heal. But, you know, if I decide to do it again in the future, I will, if my body allows me to. Like I said, just, you know, if you guys are deciding to become one, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You know, at the end of the day, if you're doing it and coming in with good intentions and doing it for the right reasons, you know, it'll all be worth it in the end. You know, so like I said, I have other videos out there. I'm sorry I wasn't prepared. Like I said, this was a complete last minute surprise. It was. So, you know, there was no preparation, nothing. I didn't even have my bag, nothing. So, just had to pretty much wing it. But, yeah, this became a reality in a very short period of time. But, like I said, wouldn't change anything for the world. Like I said, my journey was rough, but it was a really good journey. So, yeah. But, you know, again, just surrogacy, I will say it should not be taken lightly at all. You know, if you're going to decide to become a surrogate, really understand and do your research, because there's a lot behind surrogacy than what people really realize. You know, understand the risks of being a surrogate. Understand that, you know, you will have to take off work if you're working. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice you'll have to do. So that's why I say it's important to make sure you have the right support behind you in all aspects. You know, it's just important to really understand and not just look at it as a money bank, you know, because, yeah, it could be a lot of money, but the way you got to put as much stuff you got to put your body through, because, I mean, you're putting your body through a lot. And you're not just your body, but yourself, between psych evaluations, medical evaluations. Not only that, you're doing a lot of hormone shots. So, I mean, and then knowing the risks of not being able to have your own kids again, you know, complications, anything. Not that I'm saying it won't happen in regular pregnancy, but being a surrogate is not a natural way of getting pregnant. So you're tricking your body. You're doing a lot to your body. So, and then now that you're being pregnant for 9 months, so you got to look at all of that and make sure and understand of what you're getting yourself into. And, understand that you are doing something really good and really thoughtful and really nice for somebody else. So just make sure surrogacy is for you. I will say that if you are that type of person, emotional type of person who gets attached easily, I would wait to become a surrogate, because there's a lot that goes into it. You got to understand that the baby or babies aren't yours. They go to their parents. And not just those type of evaluations. You got, lawyers and legal stuff, contracts that are involved. And I actually have videos too, a video out there about that too. So, just really think about it. It's not something you need to rush into or should rush into, because once you're in it, you're now putting all your time into it. If you decide to go agency, even if you decide to go independent, meaning you're not going to go through agency, you're going to do everything by yourself, you still got a lot of people putting in their time and effort and money, so you don't want to waste anyone's time, so just make sure you do your research and understand, and make sure it's something that being a surrogate is something that you want to do, because it's not something that just affects you, it affects your family too. So like I said, I had a really good journey. I appreciate all the support that stood behind me and all the love. Again, I know I look like a hot mess, but at this point I just don't care. I'm just exhausted. I don't regret it at all. Was it hard? Was it right? Yes. And I think it was just a little bit more stressful for me because of the whole pandemic, trying to make sure, we're all safe, but, no longer pregnant anymore. So yeah, I got just looking back at everything, at where I started, becoming serious, seems like everything to me, it seems like it went by so fast. Seems like I just started the process. So, I've been at the hospital since Tuesday and finally get to go home tomorrow. So now I just have to focus on, recovery and getting better, and dealing with everything else that's gonna be coming my way. So it's gonna feel weird, I expected to still be pregnant up until at least August, but it's gonna be an adjustment. But yeah, so I thank you guys for tuning in. I'm actually about to get some sleep because I'm tired. I feel like, when you're in a hospital, you can't really get sleep because you always have somebody walking through those doors. So, like I said, I appreciate all the love and support. I actually received some flowers too from the agency, so that was really sweet. Again, I was blessed to have a lot of support behind me, and like I said, don't get me wrong, if I will do it again, but just not anytime soon. This took a lot. Like I said, it takes a toll on you physically, mentally, emotionally. So even after my body heals, I just want to, take time to, focus on my son and, just enjoy life back, normal life again that I had before I got pregnant. Because, when you're pregnant, you can't do so much. You can only do so much. So, so that's pretty much how everything went. Like I said, I'm fine, thank God. I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified when I found out I had to get a C-section. Never had one. Because with my son, like I said, my experience that I had with my son, my first pregnancy, was totally different than this experience. So, but you guys, that's pretty much it for the night. You guys take care, have a great night, and I don't know, I'm like feeling emotional right now. I guess just with everything, my hormones and everything, I was trying to get back on track. So I'm going to go to sleep, but you guys have a great night. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. And yeah, so you guys take care. Have a blessed night. Bye, guys.